Drake's house today. They've really put on their thing, but this is all for a culmination into week 5. All of these weeks go together. You accumulate your points, and then the best house gets a chance to play against each other for a certain amount of cash prizes that will eventually filter through. But for this instance, for this tournament today, for the last one, all that matters is this. One final game. We'll get you the updated leaderboards. We'll get you the updated stats before we close out the show. All that matters right now is game number 8, the last one, the chance to move into first place, to secure your spot in the money. You want to be in top 5. Now you got to do it.
Want to be in top 5, and the question is, will Aydan be in the top 5 just like he did last week? Well, after a strong second place finish, anything is possible. And immediately, are we dropping on a heli and going soaring? I think we might be, and this could be the first time we've seen this strategy on stream.
We saw it last week, very briefly. I think it was Huskerrs who was in the heli for a moment. Either him or Isaac that had flown around trying to cut off a couple of players scouting from the skies, but in this instance, we will instead pull our attention back down to earth. There's a couple of plates in the pocket. Maybe not the weapon that Aydan wants to work with, but he's all he's got for the moment. We'll see how long this trio can stay up as a full group, because that's been the question mark. They can stay alive, keep their numbers up. They can make a push to the end game. We just saw it. They got top 2.
Got top 2. An impressive finish. Aydan, unfortunately, forgetting that he had another self-res in his inventory. He doesn't equip it. How does that game end if he equips it? I still think Empathy wins it, but hey, you never know. But already picking up a bounty, and look who they're hunting, right? We're hunting Destroy.
Oh, here goes the UAV. Early information. The rooftops are certainly a POI for this squad. They got so close to escaping into the final push, the final gunfight of our game number 7. One of the biggest games so far they've had in this entire tournament, from week 1 to week 2. This is the one. They can get a top 3 finish, let alone if they walk away with a victory. They might overtake Biffle and get that number 1 spot.
One thing I want to point out, we've been discussing all day today how the lobbies have slowed down, and they absolutely have. But game 7, just the game before, we saw only 12 teams alive when Resurgence ended, when the respawns ended. So a quicker game. I expect game 8 to be just as quick. There's no point outside of getting points for your house to break outside of top 5. So you've got to put it all out there, risk it all, and try and get as many points as possible. So if you're like Team Smixy, even Destroy, you want to do that. Nisoka dropping, he'll be back, but getting caught off guard a bit, and normally Hisoka and them have a very strong start, but this is who I want to see. Smixy, can they finally have a strong game?
Right below me.
Slowly rooting for them to, well, look, if they get top 2 in this one, it'd be huge. Rooting for them to walk away with a victory royale, just to see how the standings would shake up would be awesome, but also give them a good high spot to end on. Sure. A team that's been so close, but so far in a large part of today's broadcast. Ended on a good note. They'll try to rotate through for the moment through a bit of chaos, but they are working, again, with numbers above, so you're hoping that Attract can spot some information, give you a chance to cleanly move out of dodge, as Flanked will move up the stairs very quietly.
Come cross into you.
Very quietly. Attract is down, so Flanked stay up as long as he can, and Attract does get back onto his feet, so good on him for doing so, and he dies just in front of where Flanked is currently at. So Flanked can make a big play. Good shots, big down. Simtex for the finish. Don't think it connects. Smixy is also gone. Flanked has to stay alive, and you're saying uh-oh, and for good reason.
Yeah, and if you're anybody who's just taking down those 2 players, you understand what the trio is, you start pushing this gunfight. Don't want to say that a Claymore could be down there, but it's possible. Got to be careful.
Haven't seen any.
That would be the worst way to lose in game 8. It's just everybody's down, you walk into a Claymore. Oh, no. Good shots.
Great shots, man. Yeah, that would be terrible. Running into a Claymore. We've all been there. Yep. I think he hits it. Yeah, gets to Simtex, gets a finish. So good on him for doing so, but the job's not done just yet. Couple more loose ends they have to tie up. Sitting at 2 elims, though. One of the things that Smixy and Co have been kind of struggling with has been their beginning game. Don't overstay your welcome, though. You don't want to fall, and luckily, he's able to play back up.
And the numbers are back as well, so not only is that Semtex huge just for the elimination department, but you save yourself an opportunity to buy back your teammates, which might come into effect later, but you don't have to spend that money now. 3,600 for Flanked, 1,100, 1,700, so not a lot available in the resource department for a buy station around. Certainly will be. But here goes Smixy on the rotation.
Yeah, I can
Working
play
out on the
that.
outskirts.
Yeah, I mean,
You got a tracked on the
By
wing.
yourself, you're by yourself.
Out of zone. A huge split
Who's
from
right
this
above me
trio.
now?
should be
Big
okay.
split, which they've done from time to time, right? Smixy,
Person's
especially
hiding
after
on me.
respawn, has kind of landed far away from her team, mainly to like be that UAV to mark players, but we haven't seen them do it too often, so this is going to be kind of fun to watch and see how it ends up paying off. Meanwhile, there is a little bit of trouble, though, for one of our most talented squads, Rated, Adrian, as well as Aydan. 2 down, and Adrian forced to stay up.
He just needs 7 seconds. He could
That's
literally
it.
lie down, and he'd be okay.
Right.
But oh, he
So
might
I
have just
did
gotten into
earlier.
a gunfight. If audio cues are a thing, they are.
Chase his teammate.
He gets
Chase his
one.
solo
That's
left.
huge.
You can hit the load
You get one teammate back, and now you get raided, so that gunfight was massive.
Good on him. Composure is there. That would have been awful space to see them drop this early. 100% would not be making
Disastrous.
top 5, but now that storyline is still in play.
Yeah, it would have been disastrous. Ken's Rosie will drop, believe.
Take this heli to rotate in.
Finding 2 victims early on.
It might be kind of AIDS, but let's do it.
Sean J. And this trio we saw earlier today, I want to say around game 4 or so.
All right,
It's nice to see them still in the mix of things. And we will
Yes.
get a heli play. Here we go.
All right.
He
Oh,
left Sean. There we go.
oh no, she
Get
can't
Sean
get
J.
in there.
Please get Sean
Come
J.
on,
Okay,
Sean,
we're
there
good.
you go.
Okay.
where are we going? University?
Even Intex letting out a bit of a smile there, but it's all business now, right? It's time to slay out. And as we go airborne, we know those signal 50s are banned, right? So chances of getting just bodied out is really not a thing, but Shanche's dropping in hot. And unfortunately, she's going to be dropping down. Does she get the self-revival? We're going to have to see. Intex, though, all eyes on him. He plates up, and this rooftop is hot.
And he's very, very tagged. I think he ran by a pistol regardless, so it's still information available, but this is a very risky descent. He's the only one up and has to kill 15 seconds.
Long time. Oh, it's a long time, especially when you got a player pushing you. Trying to bait it out. And he barely gets it. Good on him. Both of his teammates will be back to fight. Once again, another ping is there, and I believe a player either in the stairwell or going to be on the rooftop in Intex. Does he want to brave the trek back up? And he does.
Wait, in the room to the right, too. In there.
Again, it comes down to a couple of key gunfights for a couple of key players to keep their squads alive in this very important Game 8.
I broke one in there.
This one's literally for all the marbles for some of our teams trying to make it into the money. Natasha, who was fantastic earlier, clutching what felt like a 1v5,
Right.
making the most out of nothing. Got her team into a top 2 finish. The revive pistol will be successful. Zepti back into the fight.
Stairs.
The revive pistol has made a lot of lives. We're really worth it. I mean, it has been a big addition, specifically here in Vondel Resurgence. Just adds a little bit more longevity. And honestly, Space, that could be another reason why our lobbies are lasting as long as they are.
Sure, absolutely.
I didn't think about that.
Well, it helps when those players can get back into the game without being sniped off spawn. That certainly is a benefactor.
That's right. Yeah, facts. Shifty's down. Eno takes him out.
Yeah.
So, Eno's been playing very well, and honestly, so has Nat. You know, Nat, I've been really impressed with her. We talked about that star set of plays she made against Swagg earlier. Fire sales started, so hey, if you want to buy some UAVs, this would be the time to do so. I scanned the map. There is going to be one buy station to the right, but I think their positioning is just too good to give up. But they're going for the push. What happened to Zept?
Either I want to say ground damage or he got shot, but he got pushed from the back. And here comes the follow-up, the spree. The cavalry flies in. Still good
Oh my
shots in the
gosh.
end, but all 3 are down. Whoa, no, he's back. Zepti's back. He survived. He got back in time, and he keeps his streak alive. Are you kidding?
That's wild. I cannot believe he gets back in time. Zepti
Oh
somehow
my God.
goes for the self-res, gets back, and then is able to save this entire trio. I thought they were done for sure, Space.
Holy, I mean, like you're talking about a minuscule away from being out of contention. I am mind blown that we just saw that happen. I don't know if I think he got shot while trying to land, and it just cut the whole situation short, but we went from 0 to hero. They're back into it.
I do. Okay.
Back into it. That's unreal. Great work from Zepti. Talk about clutching up. Now, on your screen, a team that we've been watching consistently, and I love this SEAL Team 6 style, all three crouching up. We haven't seen this just yet. We've seen maybe solos do it, but not all three. These guys are in sync.
This very much feels like Clear House. Just
It does.
play like a campaign mission. Just get in, get out, find your kills,
Getting shot from
survive.
everywhere, yeah, I was gonna say.
Only 4 seconds
Go back down, go
until
back down, Chris,
Resurgence
come on,
will
come on.
end. But yeah, hear him
See
say, like, we're
colors.
getting shot from everywhere. You got to be careful.
Z Colors is down 36 seconds. Back on board with Zepti, the hero, to keep this trio involved. Huge plays. Made even bigger, forced to jump into the water. We got a teammate coming back, so Zepti's actually coming back in. Nat now onto the ground level. Yeah, she's got the gunny for sure. She'll join Inno on the bridge just up there. She's got to go forward. Not a lot of space, or not a lot of coverage, I should say. So she's going to dive into water, quickly cross as quickly as she can.
I mean, the best way to rotate is just to do it. Just to go. Resurgence is disabled. Numbers fall still. Worried about the cross from the opposite rooftop.
Can I roll Bright in her?
I'm not sure.
And her
I'm
teammates
grabbing
are
these guys'
split.
smokes.
I mean, it feels like they're trying to edge guard here, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but it is a very dangerous spot to be in, given what's at stake in Game 8, and given how out of position you can be.
I'm cheating.
There's Lula. Lula's going to fall. Her other two teammates are still up, though. I don't think she had many options coming off the respawn. E-Bates, new teammate. So, yeah, E-Bates, DJ Moss, they joined Lula. Last time Lula wasn't playing with them was Blade and Vortex. But this trio made a big impact in our earlier games, and we haven't seen too much of them throughout the other 6 or 7. But game number 8, I mean, talk about a strong finish. This would be special. Still got 19 trios. Everybody's playing their life a lot more than I was expecting them to do on the final game.
And we had, what, 18 last game? Right around this time, so the trends continue. Numbers are still alive. Very much viable for all squads. Brax will fall.
Oh, he only has 9 bullets.
The leading member of the last game who eventually closed it out for that squad. On the victory royale. Very low here. In the mag department.
And he
Uses
hits
every
it. He hits
single
every shot. Wow. Wow.
The turn and
Does he-
burn, man.
And you know what he gets for it? 20 more bullets for his tag.
All he
That's
needs is
it.
9. That's just
I
apparently.
guess so.
Yeah. All right. Get some plates too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, you should.
Plates are definitely valuable. 15 trios still up in Tex.
They're out that way.
Back on board with them as they managed to stay alive. Good on them for doing so. And having this building is going to be key, I believe, especially having the position they are at up top. Because it's obviously it's 3 levels, so you're going to have teams that are for sure going to be down low, and they're going to be able to cut them off. Destroy those Zlaner. There's their end game, the duo. I mean, they just continue to excel.
They're not gonna move.
Quick update on the point standings overall. Preliminary numbers as they funnel through. It will be Biffle at 170.4 points. Behind Team Hisoka at 162. So a 6-point difference between the two. But great shots there from Destroy.
Great.
And a huge win against that trio.
Nat, Inno, Zepti. Again, that hero. Maybe the hero again? No. Inno, Nat, they survived. They're all stuck. Can they ascend? They can't ascend, or they don't want to. But they were just getting laser from down low. Oh, but Inno took down DJ Moss, so they're good to go, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
But as we know, we were talking about it, right? There's going to be a team above them.
I think they were worried about repelling too quickly and getting caught. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
So they wait
right.
just to check the corner
Can we cross through
or
here?
the ceiling, whichever works for them, and now they make their move.
I can't believe they're still up.
Straight ahead in front.
It's a miracle. Like
It is.
between what Nat pulled off earlier and what they just did 5 minutes ago, insane. But now they got to work through the gunfights in the front.
Good downs, good shots, Nat.
Good job, good job. Good job.
That's going to drop yet another one. I believe that's a full trio.
Intex.
Believe squad, the team that had the high ground, was complimenting their positioning, thinking they were in a power spot. But little did I know, the surviving trio, because of Zepti, Inno, Nat, they take over this entire building and they take down the squad, who I thought was going to have the advantage the entire time. 7 trios remaining in the final game. And Zepti's squad is fighting for top 10, maybe even top 5. Iceman Isaac also alive. Haven't seen too much of him.
have 20 bullets if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than
Nat's squad is currently 17th overall in the points, so
We try to work your wrist.
I don't think they're going to break into the money with a first place finish, but they could spoil the day of a couple of trios. Just kind of what you want to do.
There's a door right above
Iceman Isaac, like you talked about. This was the squad that took home first place just a game ago.
Ready for the hop over. Okay?
Came down to a, we'll call it a heel off in quotations against Aydan.
Right.
Uh-oh, and there goes Empathy.
He down. Iceman Isaac, he's sprinting away, taking a lot of damage. The only option is to fight back. Good shots.
Let's do
Great
teams.
shots, in fact. We'll drop one, and we'll drop himself in 6th place. But the highest placing, I believe, for that roster today. Now, the big story for fighting for first place to overtake Biffle is going to be Hisoka's crew. Hisoka, last alive.
Oh, man.
Playing that gatekeeper role. He wants to just hug this gas as much as possible. Gas mask is gone. But is he setting up properly? Will he pick up a couple more elims? Every elim counts.
Yeah, and I think they might have gotten enough to give them first if the multiplier kicks in. You're just playing
There it
placements
is.
here. Every elim helps. Not enough to clean it up, getting shot from the opposite alley, and he's still alive somehow. He's going to play it up and try to play through. He can't do it, but did they do enough to top 4?
Well, they got at least top 4 positioning there. Now we're
Oh,
down
Biffle
for a
killed
top
him.
3. Biffle's
That was
crew's
their
up.
team. That was their
Biffle's crew's
team.
up. First place.
Oh, they're looking.
Oh my god, it came down to 1 versus 2. And of course, it was Biffle and company to take them out.
Biffle, 1st and 2nd place fighting. Literally, the winner of that fight decides who gets first place, and Biffle's crew wins it. They've got a ton of eliminations already. I can already tell. Biffle's sitting at 6. They're going for the multiplier. Sage is going to be last up. If Sage can win this first place, it's all but guaranteed in back-to-back weeks.
It's just multiplier at this point. It's literally just get top 3 and just sit. Elimination's great. You win the game, great. All you have to do is just secure that you're in the best part of the multiplier, and they will do it. It came down to 1 gunfight. Biffle continuing just to ping out in hopes that Sage can maybe get a kill or 2. But does it even matter at this point?
Doesn't matter. Well, you want all the guarantees you could possibly get, and Sage wants to stay up, potentially win this just to solidify a win. If he can't get it, but that is still going to be just fine in 2nd place. And what a way to end. And look who takes it, right? Inno's crew with Nat, of course, and Zepti. Zepti being the hero, just a hair away from losing their trio. Zepti stays alive, and that was a great call space. And now they are the winners of game number 8. Do they break into top 5? Probably not, but what a way to end today.
I mean, they were sitting around 17th. They were going to overtake Smixy. With that win, they'll overtake likely Swagg and Huskerrs as well. Will they break into top 10? Very difficult to say. I don't believe so, but for that trio to walk away with a victory at the end, impressive nonetheless. I mean, you had 2 plays of the game, 2 plays of the day from that trio today. Just
That's right.
Phenomenal work from them. But again, it came down to 1 crucial team fight in the very final push. And the fact that it came down to Biffle and company taking down head-to-head Ahsoka is just brilliant Warzone work from the COD gods. Just love that it came down to the final fight. But this really was, again, a very similar result that we had in Game 7. Slow down in the mid-game, work through the rotations, really focus up on the close quarters team fights. We got that, and this one did not disappoint.
Didn't disappoint at all. I mean, even in this moment, Intex, staying alive, getting Believe & Co. back into the fight, that was a big move. They overtake high ground from that perspective. This was the play. That was the play, right? Zepti somehow getting back on his feet and then clutching up. I mean, a moment that shouldn't have happened that resulted and snowballed into a victory. Amazing.
I mean, he was hitting the self-revive. I don't think the other player recognized it. Just in the heat of battle, like, I have to take out everybody else. He gets up, reestablishes baseline with the group. This was disgusting. Just an absolutely absurd turn with 9 bullets. Rax, Iceman Isaac did all they could, but it was Destroy doing all that he could to clean up the stragglers on this final fight. And so many times you think teams are so close, but one trio, one gunfight goes their way or doesn't. And this was just brutal.
It was. Well, here we go. We're getting down to those final moments, right? And just caught in the corner with the Simtex. You can see the frustration. And does he win if he has the gunny? The Simtex doesn't hit. There's a chance. Hisoka is always in a winning position. Breadman with third. I missed that, but good to see him consistently up there. And Nat dropping down. She hits the final shots. I believe that is the second win that she's got. Her and her roster has got. One in week 1, one in week 2. So wonderful job. Consistency is there too. But like, just what a good day. You know, longer lobbies. Teams are getting better. I think the removal of the Signal 50, as well as only having one sniper per team, allowed for these lobbies to mature a lot better and be played a little bit more strategically. So big fan of today's format.
And this was huge. I mean, it's great to see the extra 2 games kick in. It came down to the wire for it. I love what we're seeing, and I'm glad that it came down to really the top 2 teams going at it. It was awesome.
That's right. Number 1 and number 2 battling, and I think I know who's going to be winning today, but after all, the scores need to be tallied up. All 8 games are finished. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to find out who took first place.
I died. I'm dead, bro. Knock 3. Killed a different team. Killed one.
I might hit the balloon. Oh yeah. Well, I'm broken, so I can finish.
Another one. Right here, he crossed back. He's self, I believe. He's self? Alright. Re-knocked him. Heady in the heady. Period. He's 1E. I got naded.
You just got naded.
On me, I'm in the tunnel. Dead. Okay, he's fucking back here.
What the? I have another. Oh my god, no. Oh no, I had another self-equipped. Or am I fucking right though? Yeah, I appreciate that, Dylan. My bad, bro. I was talking to the shit. Yeah, we called that out.
Got one. Oh, one shot. Fuck!
Dude, I'm not. Flying at us. Down. Down him right over here. Another one on the roof tree left.
Looking for. Like, right on
He
you.
died to somebody else. Are you serious? Hurt. I got self under me.
Oh, D's in this corner on me.
Fucking dead. Up your face.
Inside on me, inside on me, inside on me.
Broken, bullet.
I don't.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, right side, my water!
No, he's like on that level right there, yeah.
Slam. 20.
Dead. Good one. Another one. Low. Yeah, another one. Dead.
Nice, cool.
You go, res him.
Give me.
Watch out. Like that.
He went inside.
Got him.
On the bottom. Okay, back on the water. Take it down. Get that pole. Fucking hell, bro.
Let's go. Fuck this shit, bro. Fuck this shit. Come on. Love that. Let's go. That's... baby. Down. One tap. Stuck one in front of me. Stuck in here. Stuck. Dead. I mean, one shot.
On me, one E, super, one E, close right. Got one down.
The bullet. Oh my god, bro. Pizza on my buddy. I have a pizza on my buddy.
One more. Nice. Another one. I love it. Another one. One more. I'm here. Yup. On the floor.
Stick in the water.
Tell me close D. There's two. It's two, bro. Pizza right there. Oh, never mind.
Ah, motherfucker. What the fuck?
Into the water. Broken in the water?
Fuck.
Fuck. Oh my god. Good eye, baby. Good eye.
Shit, boys.
Good fucking shit, baby. You're fine on that, bro. Don't. Yeah.
Got one. You're gonna get chased. I kinda need him. No, come on. Right. Right in front of me. On this side. Wait, there was another one on me? Oh my god. Really freaking appreciate that, man.
Nice. Oh, I'm trying to get him weak and shit. Got him. Good shit. Let's go.
Super one.
One shot. Probably dead.
One more. Yeah, go, climb it up. Money. Yeah. Right there. One. Down. Someone shoot me to the left, Annie.
souls ever.
Got a bush. Crossing. Watch your guys back. Watch your guys back. Watch your guys back. In zone, running in.
I might hit the balloon. Oh yeah. Alarm broke us off.
Right here, he crossed back. He's self, I believe. Re-knocked him.
Heady and the heady.
And welcome back, everybody, to Lions versus Drake, the Vondel battles. All 8 games have concluded, and all that's left is to see who ended up in first place. But before we get there, Space, we need to find out who's winning, yellow or blue, Lions or Drakes, because Drakes have been dominating all day. Surely Lions caught up. I guess not.
Listen, maybe in a different multiverse, they're doing a good thing. At this point in time, 2 weeks in a row, the Drakes, the House of the Drakes, have showed up. The boys in blue, the boys, girls, and the NBs in blue have showed up. And that's what we love. Listen, I can't hate. I'm repping the colors today. Call of Duty, thank you for sending this out to us, by the way. Yes. They gave me the Drakes, you know I have to represent. But the beautiful thing about this tournament is we have more weeks to go. So if you ever want to see the Lions get back into the full swing and really compete in this tournament and compete in terms of the points against these two houses, they absolutely have a chance to do it, and I think they will.
Well, there's 20 total teams, 10 on the Lions, 10 on the Drakes. They play for points, and, well, those points are represented here. Drakes leading by 200 plus. Incredible stuff. But here we go. Our top 5 has been decided, and Biffle, back-to-back weeks, will win. But this time, Space, not as dramatically as week 1. Hisoka nearly gets it.
It was the only dramatic part about this was the final gunfight between Biffle and Ahsoka. That was it. It was the final trio versus trio. They came down to the wire to really decide who would walk away with the victory in Game 8, let alone that, but potentially who would take first place, secure the most money in this prize pool. Again, top 5 is most important. FIFA kill, Aydan, Gorgo, up to Ahsoka. All impressive showings today. I think the big factor really was the resurgence from Team Nude. We see a much better performance out of this trio than what we saw in Week 1, but Biffle, just consistently in like back-to-back weeks, this team, even if they're not winning the game, they're getting enough eliminations and placing far enough into the game to get a multiplier that helps them overall. And that's the takeaway. They're just doing so much right, even if they're not walking away with the victory royale. 192.5, like that's everything you want from that trio.
It is, but I do want to highlight Gorgo Knight, Unrational Scum, and due to their resiliency, their wonderful gameplay at the end throughout endgame, they were able to secure a 3rd place, which is better than the 7th place they got in Week 1, and then Aydan going from 5th to 4th from Week 1 to Week 2. And like you said, FIFA kill breaking in that top 5 is big because they weren't even existent in the top 10 as of last week. So improvements all around. I expected that to be the case, and we get exactly what I thought. But Biffle, man, back-to-back week space. They get first place. They secure $10,000. They've already earned $20,000 in just 2 weeks of Lions versus Drake, the Vondel battles.
And that's more than some teams are going to see over the 5-week span. So at this point, their job's done. They've contributed all the points they really need to towards their house. They've done enough in terms of the money department. They take away $20,000 in 2 weeks. That's not a bad share of change. You show up, you win a couple of